Good morning. Take a look at yesterday's Irish Premier Division, Irish First Division. Any real angles? Galway and St Pat's. Galway taking a 2-0 lead. I was tempted to lay Galway at 1.17, but then remembered we've been waiting for goals for St Pat's at home, haven't we? And they're not in the best of shape. They're going to start tumbling down the table, I think. Can't find that second goal. Shamrock Rovers were emphatic yesterday against Cork City. Shelburne and Derry, possibility of laying the 0-0 second half. That would have been the only real angle in there. Waterford and Bows. A Waterford 2-0 lead, I think, would have been gettable here. Bohemians, on paper at least, looking outstanding value. But there we go. You can't legislate for these. Opening gift of a penalty. So, for me, that would have been a play. That would have been your first possible cash out opportunity, 71st minute, particularly if you went +1. But if you go match odds on this, that would have been your first cash out as well. I'm not sure how much profit you would have made just with that single goal from the Bows. Elsewhere, Irish First Division, Dundalk and Treaty. Well, I did warn you about Treaty United, didn't I? 2 score draws in a head-to-head. Dundalk led this. Did you take them on? That would have been very interesting. Wexford and Longford, I did lay over 1.5 goals back. Wexford +1 here. They were awful, aren't they? But it's a case of their favourite because this lot are just worse than them. Got away with a break even there. Not playing the FIFA World Club Cup at all. Looking on to today, and I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but I don't have any strong pre-match angles for pork and cheese, Netherlands, Spain under 21 and England. They do look very well matched, all 4 teams. Previews are available. I've done the research for members, but I don't have a strong pre-match angle for you. Bodo, Glimt and Brann. These 2 are near the top of the table. Bodo, Glimt are 5th at the moment. It's mostly because they've played, or other teams have played more games than them. Losing to Viking at home recently for Bodo Glimt could be a changing in the guard in the Elite Serie. And Brann have not met any of the top 11 away from home, so therein is a big gap in form, which does cloud judgment a little bit here. So Bodo Glimt, 3 wins and a loss against Viking. Can they bounce back? They did score 2 goals against Viking. I have started to, well, I will be doing a neutral angle for the Oberliga, especially because it's a very untrustworthy league. So let's get on to that. Asane are unbeaten at home in 4 against 7th and lower. And guess who they meet today? One of those teams in that league position. From a neutral perspective, and that's what I'm going to be doing in the Oberliga and the Super Retin, is giving you a neutral angle as well. The neutral angle for me, it's a little tenuous one. 3 out of 4 recent Asane matches over 2.5 goals, and Moss's last 4 over 2.5 goals. It's very, very recent form, though. It's not standout season long. But from a neutral perspective, that would be the play today. This is yet another match. We've seen quite a few of these where both teams are in the top 7 and both teams keep failing to beat or lose to fellow top 7 sides. So therein lies the problem. From a neutral perspective, neither sides have really had a 0-0 at half-time to speak of. So you'd be looking at the potential for breakthrough before half-time. How would you act as a neutral player from that trading angle? Well, the ideal for me is to stick your delay boots on and wait 5, 10, 15 minutes. Every time you wait, the longer you wait in the half-time markets, the more impact there will be on the odds. Get shorter odds for the late, bigger odds for the back. Be looking for the potential of a goal before half-time there. Odd seem to be a little odd on the road. Can't be immediately trusted. Egersund are unbeaten at home, but 4 of those matches were draws. So therein lies the potential angle if odds score first. Is Egersund's draw-itis going to kick in? They're unbeaten at home, don't forget. From a neutral angle, well, the possibility with odd failing to score only once that 0-0 is going to be vulnerable. Ranheim and Lillestrøm, and this is quite simple, isn't it? Lillestrøm have shown their credentials in the last 2-2s that they've had. 4 draws this season in an unbeaten run, all of them score draws. They have the ability to come from behind, which they've done in the last 2 matches. So you've got a green light here. It seems that Lillestrøm are very trustworthy. Famous last words, of course. The neutral player might want to go both teams to score, given Lillestrøm's recent run of 2-2s. Only 1 win in 8, plays only 1 win in 5. This is a bit of a horror show, and that tells you the story. 2.4 the favourite. You'll be learning that the market gives you clues. It's suggesting, like the playoffs here, it's getting tougher to pick a winner pre-match. From a neutral perspective, well, only 2 0-0s at halftime all season for Hod. Can we trust that for a potential breakthrough before halftime? They've not had a 0-0 either, so they tend to score anyway. So be looking at laying any very, very late 0-0. Start are second in the Obos-ligaen. Let's have a look at them. Stabæk have not played the top 7 away from home, so how on earth are we going to gauge how they'll perform today? They might perform above expectation. We just don't know. So from that perspective, it's a very difficult match to research. Start have failed to score only once, so that 0-0 will be vulnerable. There's potential of a goal before half-time, but concerningly, 75% of Start's goals scored have come second half. But 75% of the goals conceded by Start have come in the first half. I'm not sure if Stabæk can quite live up to those expectations. FIFA World Club Cup, Mickey Mouse won't be touching this with a barge pole, I'm afraid. Up to you. You've seen PSG 0-1 against Botafogo. It's just too much football, isn't it, for the likes of Dortmund and Inter? For example, here in this part of the world, we've got Arsenal and Newcastle coming to Singapore in July, play each other along with AC Milan. I won't, of course, be going. I am a Wolves fan. If Wolves come to Thailand, I'll be all over that. So that's it for today. Let's have a quick look at the tennis. It's well worth your while keeping tabs on this. Just keeps the old grey matter running over. And again, we've got a whole raft of 2-setters, which means that there wasn't any trading angles yesterday. Or if there was a trading angle, it wasn't a profitable one. Looks like all the odds-on favourites won yesterday in 3 straight sets. But heading to London, a little more competitive in London, as Nakashima took a set off Draper. Hugh Fearnley-Whittingstall couldn't get anything from Lehecka. Alcaraz and Rinderknecht, easy as you like. And Holger Rune and Bautista Agut. You can see yet again Bautista Agut competitive on grass against these high-quality players. So there is a possibility there. Well, there was a trade, wasn't there? Because he only won the first set via a tiebreaker. But he could have made this 2-0. So he is one to follow, Bautista Agut. You're going to get value, put it that way. Here, 1.62, winning the first set in a tiebreaker. Now, I don't know whether you want to take on favourites when they've won the first set in a tiebreaker, because it's not emphatic form, is it? Particularly 8-6. It's just a fact that Sabalenka won the right point at the right time. I'm just looking at low odds entry points. That could be a potential low odds entry point, couldn't it? Looking on to today, and in the last 2 videos, I've shown you how to do the research via Grok. So you've got a whole raft here. Quite simple job. Control and print screen. We're going to head off to Elon Musk's baby, Grok, and I'm just going to go and get the prompt and show you how you can do this yourself. The fact that we can give it print screens for it to read off is superb, isn't it? Let me get the prompt. Here's the Grok prompt. It is a juicy one. It will cover absolutely everything. Don't forget, this is completely free. I'm not paying for Grok. All you have to do is just to input today's singles, ATP singles. Listed on the screenshot. ATP and WTA singles listed on the screenshot. So it's the 21st today. And if you're going to get AI to do your thinking for you, make sure it's deep research. Okay, you can choose your models as well. I'll stick with the smartest, and off we go. So if you make this a daily habit, you can see I've done this yesterday for the Harlow and London quarterfinals. And I'll be keeping tabs on these and looking retrospectively to see how accurate Grok is in its analysis and how strong that prompt is. So plenty to play for today, but from my perspective, the hunger is strong in Zverev. He keeps getting into finals but not winning. So that is a really good angle, isn't it? If Daniil Medvedev wins the first set, you can expect Zverev to be giving absolutely everything today. Bublik, well, we know he's unpredictable, don't we? Is that an angle in itself? He's having an excellent run in Halle. Bublik could be one to follow as a dark horse at Wimbledon. Jack Draper is the highest ranked British player out there. He's trying to emulate Andy Murray and head in to the world's top 5. He was made to battle yesterday against Nakashima. Could get the same today. Might see a Lehecka set. Alcaraz and Bautista Agut. 1, we've got 2 Spaniards meeting each other. 2, we've got Bautista Agut really giving the big guns something to think about. Alcaraz layable all day long at 1.08. Absolutely no value to be had backing him at those odds. Even better, lay Alcaraz if he wins the first set. And in Eastbourne, don't know many of these players at all. They look to be a lot of lower ranked players. Lofhagen, that's a very good British name. Herr Lofhagen, I am from the Somerset, don't you know? It is very nice. I have the bangers and the mash. I am the British man. He's playing Ronald McDonald. Looks about right. Should be a high-ranked outsider there. Harris, another Brit. So keep an eye on the Brits or the locals in their local tournament. They could perform above expectation. I don't expect much from Monday today. This being, what day is it? This being a Saturday, is it? Yeah. So Monday playing on a Saturday. I think the Australian should have a little too much. Similar story for Vukic as well. These Aussies are very tough nuts to crack as well. But lots of Brits out today in Eastbourne, but probably not the kind of matches you want to look at. Mallorca will be attracting some big names. I would suspect it's Rafa Nadal's tournament. So we've got, we don't really have that huge names. That's not Stefanos Tsitsipas. That's his brother, I think. So a bit of a mishmash here. Don't know Van der Zandschulp. I know quite well. Offner having a nice break in Mallorca. It's not too bad, is it? I don't know too many of those. And in Berlin, it looks like we're heading into semi-final territory. And there is a preview available, so I would recommend you read these previews. 1.36 odds on favourites at home. Normally in a semi-final match, particularly if the short odds favourite wins the first set, it's going to be a low odds entry point. It is a semi-final, so you're going to expect Vondrousova and Wang, who you know are in good form, recent form, because they're here. So that could be an angle in. No live stream today, I'm afraid. Quite simple. Not enough football. Not enough high-quality football either. That's why I've started to go neutral for the Obos League. And it's just painful to watch strong odds-on favourites capitulate. And it's hard to read as well. This is the absolute standout match of the day, trusting Lillestrøm. So if you were going to get involved, 3 o'clock would be a good starting point. I've started doing the neutrals, as you know, because it's such a poor quality-lacking league. Lack of trust of these sides. We're sitting and suffering these, I'm afraid, until we're getting the big boys back in August. But there are some standouts, some jewels, like Bodo, Glimt, etc. And these semi-finals a bit later on are going to be very difficult to pick. Well, these post-group matches are going to be very difficult to unpack. So watching brief and in-play stats for those. Have a great day. I'll see members from 1 p.m. onwards only on Telegram today.